Okay, good morning. It's a chilly Saturday morning as I sit here doing this recording. Working on from page 78, using the tangent ratio to calculate lengths. Our first couple of lessons in this unit was a review of Pythagoras, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, and then introducing you to the tangent ratio for calculating unknown angles. Today we will continue with the tangent ratio for calculating unknown sides. So in our first lesson, if we had two known sides of a triangle, we could use it to calculate an unknown angle. We can also do, if we know one angle and one side, we can use those two pieces of information to calculate an unknown side. So, let me just sketch this triangle right here to show you how that's done. So I'm sketching the triangle on page 78. Side length of 4 centimeters and 33 degrees. And I'm going to use this to find the unknown side x here. Now, the first thing that you need to do before you do any work whatsoever, a refresher from the previous lesson, is that you go into mode and you make sure your calculator is set to degree. This one already is. So the tangent ratio, if you will recall, is equal to opposite over adjacent. Opposite side over the adjacent side. And it's all based, if you're working with unknown sides, it's all based on the known angle, which is this one, 33 degrees. Okay, so we're going to use this angle. Our unknown side is opposite to it, and our known side is adjacent to it. Get it? Opposite over adjacent. So I write it as follows. Tangent of 33 equals x for our unknown side, which opposite over 4, which is adjacent. You always set it up opposite over adjacent. If this were the unknown side, then I would have to put it on the bottom. Then if this were 4, this were the unknown side, then it would be 4 over x. You always have to follow the tangent ratio. Okay? So tan of 33 equals x over 4. So this is now saying tangent of 33 equals x divided by 4. So how can I find out what x is? If x divided by 4 is equal to tangent of 33, how can I find out what x is? I will do the opposite. I will multiply. Tangent of 33 times 4. And this is where I need my scientific calculator. And I'll demonstrate this again. This time I'm not using tan inverse. That's for finding angles. I'm just pressing tangent without hitting the second key. Now I have tan without the little -1 attached to it, which is inverse. That's for finding unknown angles. Tangent 33, put a bracket around. The degree symbol is automatically included. It's not here, you can't see it, but as soon as your calculator is set to degree, that part is taken care of. Okay, so no need to worry about punching in any degree symbol. That's the whole purpose of changing to a degree setting. Times 4. 2.59 or 2.6. So back to our diagram then. It's 2.6 and x is equal to 2.6. If I wanted to find this side as well, I could just use Pythagoras at this point, right? 2.6 squared add 4 squared equals c squared, and then I would proceed with that. Okay, so Pythagoras, he comes into play all the way through our unit here. All right, let's look at a couple more examples here. Yeah, I'll go with the one on 79. There's a couple on 79 that we're going to go with. So let's do another sketch. This time the triangle sits like this. Not a good drawing. I'm going to use my triangle is going to be a bit different from the one that you see at the top of 79, because I want to have my right angle down on the bottom, and I'm going to have this the unknown side, and I'm going to have this one be 10 centimeters. So just use my drawing, not the one in the book, and this one 30 degrees, because they've got a flipped over triangle. I just prefer to flip it in a direction where it's easier to work with. Simple as that. So this time we have a 30-degree angle right here. The unknown side is opposite, the known side is adjacent. Tangent 30 degrees is equal to, adjacent is x, no, sorry, opposite is x, adjacent is 10. So once again, we've got the known side on the bottom. This now becomes just simple multiplication. Tan of 30 times 10. And back to our scientific calculator. Tangent 30 times 10. 5.77 or 5.8. Right further down on page 79, there's basically one final thing that you need to know about this concept, and then we'll probably look at a word problem as well. So let's do a couple of examples where the concept goes in a bit of a different way, but not much different. There's my right angle here. I'm going to have this side at 3.5, and I'm going to have this angle here as a 20-degree angle. And my unknown side is this one. So I have tangent, opposite over adjacent. This time the unknown side is adjacent. It's right beside, whereas the known side is opposite. So it'll look a bit different. Tangent of 20 degrees equals, this time the known side goes on top and the unknown side underneath. Now why does this make a difference? Well, it completely makes a difference. You're changing your ratio. This time you will be using division instead of multiplication. Okay? And here's what you need to do. When you have your known side on top, you have to take 3.5 and divide it by the tangent of 20 degrees. And I'll show you. See, you had to change your ratio because your unknown side was beside the known angle. So now there's flipped. And dividing is the opposite of multiplication. So tangent, 3.5 divide by tangent 20. The unknown side is 9.6. So that's the second thing to be aware of. So your tangent ratio up here, where the unknown side was opposite, then you're setting up a ratio, the unknown side's on top, you're multiplying. When your unknown side is adjacent, then the known side has to be on top and you have to divide because you're flipping your ratio around. Let's do one more example that works that way. I'm going to grab another one here. This time we're going to have a side length of 7 centimeters and we'll have 42 degrees. Now let's see what we have to work with here. We have a 42 degree angle, tangent of 42 equals 7 is opposite, and the side we're trying to find, which is this one, is adjacent. So we set it up. Tangent of 42, 7 is opposite, over x is adjacent, right beside. 7 divide by tangent of 42. And let me just show you that again. Clear. 7 divide by tangent of 42. 7.77 or 7.8. Or we could round it up to 8 if we so choose. Let's do a word problem since we have a bit of space. So I'm going to start a fresh page anyhow to make sure we have enough room. Well, let's look at a word problem on page 81. At a horizontal distance of 200 meters from the base of an observation tower, the angle between the ground and the line of sight is 8 degrees. How high is the tower to the nearest meter? The diagram is not drawn to scale. So we're going to have a tower. And we're not talking about the slant height of the tower, but the straight height. So this side of our triangle will be straight. Frågan inte vad the slant height is, frågan är hur the tower is, right? They're saying we have an 8-degree angle down here, and they're saying that there's a distance of 200 meters from the base of the tower to the angle. 200 meters. What's the height of the tower? Have an 8-degree angle, so obviously tangent of 8 degrees equals unknown side. Is that opposite or adjacent? The x is opposite, so it goes on top. And the known side of 200 is adjacent. Well, now you know you're multiplying because your unknown side is on top of your ratio. Tangent of 8 degrees times 200. tangent 8 times 200, 28.1, or just 28 rounded off meters. 0.1, 28 meters and 10 centimeters, if you want to get all precise. That's about it for the instruction portion of this lesson. Let's get you some exercises to try out. It's all going to be on page 82. And this will be number, let's see. Just want to look and make sure that you're getting a good mix of exercises here, where you're both multiplying and dividing, not just one of the two. Three, 4, 6 and 8. 3, 4, 6, and 8. Let's have a look at those exercises. So page 82, 3, 4, 6, and 8. Length of each side. So here we have 27 degrees and we have a known side of 5, right? Tangent of 27 degrees equals x over 5. That's your first one there. You see that? Let's show you another one. Here we have a 35-degree angle and we have it right beside. There's adjacent and we're looking for the opposite side here. Tangent of 35 degrees equals 2 over x, or 2 over d if you want the correct name of the side. That's fine if you want to do it that way. So there again, you've got the first one is multiplying, the second one is dividing, so you should get a nice mix of everything as you work your way through. 3 and 4 are essentially the same. Set up your ratio, determine if you're going to multiply and divide. And when you're dividing, it's always the known side divide by the tangent. Multiplying, the order doesn't really matter, but if you're dividing, you have to do the known side. I did it that way every time. If you go back and check your notes, the known side divide by the tangent. That's important. For multiplying, the order doesn't matter, but for dividing it does. So that's 3 and 4. And then you have a couple of word problems. 6. If you look at it, we have the unknown side here and the known side here. So for the word problem on 6, that looks like it's going to be multiplication. But then we go down to number 8. Look at their diagram. It's the known side is beside, the unknown side is opposite. So that looks like it's tan of 43 and then 200 divided by x. So that becomes a division problem. And again, I want to remind you again, it's the number, the known side divided by the tangent, not the other way around. Let's go to a review now. We're just going to have one recording this week. I'm going to include the review in this recording. So, go to Assess Your Understanding, page 88. This one will count for marks. Let me, first of all, give you the questions you'll be doing in this one and how many marks they're worth. And then we'll take a look at them. So we'll do page 88, number 1, unknown angles. Number 3, still an unknown angle word problem. Number 4, unknown sides. And number 5, which again is a word problem with the unknown side. So we're doing everything except 3. So let's check about the marks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the word problems. I'm going to say 10 marks for this one, for this review. 1 mark for each diagram question from 1 and 4, and then 2 marks for each word problem. Gives you a nice, neat 10 marks. So here we simply have unknown angles. We're trying the measure of the indicated angle. That's the one that's marked with the little line here, right? So tangent. Tangent inverse, in this case, use the second key, right? Second tan, 2 divide by 8. First one done. Boom, right? A word problem with a plane flying at an altitude of 1,000 meters. So it's 1,000 meters up in the air, like this. And it is 500 meters from the beginning of the landing strip. So if the landing strip is here, the plane is up here, the landing strip, if it flies straight across, he's 5,000 meters from the beginning of the landing strip. There's your triangle. What is the angle between the ground and the line of sight from an observer at the beginning of the landing strip? So right here. So I've done the diagram for you. No complaints now, okay? All you have to do is copy it and do the math with tan inverse, opposite over adjacent. 4. This is finding unknown sides. Right? So we have a 61-degree angle here for the first one, and we're finding this particular side, right? So tangent of 61, x over 6.2. So the unknown is on top. We are going to multiply. And finally, this last one. A hiker saw a hoodoo on a cliff at Willow Creek in Alberta's Badlands. The hiker was 9.1 meters from the base of the cliff. From that point, the angle between the level ground and the line of sight to the top of the hoodoo was 69 degrees. About how high was the top of the hoodoo above level ground? So the hiker, we're dealing with a cliff here. Let's say this is a cliff. The hiker was 9.1 meters from the base of the cliff. 9.1 from the base of the cliff. The angle between the level ground and the line of sight to the top here. So this angle, and this would be a right angle right here. So we have this angle here of 69. So how high was the top of the hoodoo above level ground? You figure out the unknown side right here. Tangent of 69 degrees equals x over 9.1. A nice multiplication word problem to finish off your day. And again, this whole thing, it's not worth a lot of marks, it's worth 10 marks. I'm hoping that everybody will get caught up next week. I'm still waiting for some of those measurement reviews. I might be running out of patience, people, but just the one recording for this week, but there's a lot going on in this recording because, as you see, there's a review to be done at the end of it.